There's been an update, guys. Something has happened with the American Diabetes Association lawsuit that I told you about the other week. And so we're going to get into this today and investigate what's happened. First, just a quick shout out to Glenn for recommending this article to me today. So let's get into it. Just a quick recap first. Now, if you remember, the article from before we looked at was about a lady called Hannah who got fired after not endorsing Splenda-filled salads, yum, 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 to people with diabetes. Okay, so Elizabeth Hannah, her last name was Hannah. Elizabeth Hannah said she was fired by the American Diabetes Association after refusing to approve recipes heaped with the additive made by a major donor. And she had a simple job, as you can see here: help people with diabetes figure out what to eat. They know how to eat. That's part of the problem. What to eat is the problem. What to eat is what Elizabeth Hannah is helping them with. So anyone with common sense knows this should probably not entail foods which might increase people's risk of getting diabetes. Yes, that's right. But that's not necessarily the thinking at the American Diabetes Association, the world's leading diabetes research advocacy group. Okay, they receive millions of dollars from sponsors in the pharmaceutical, food, and agricultural industries. Now, I'm not going to read the whole of this article to you. This is just a recap to point out that the issue was Elizabeth Hannah was being asked to recommend products to as part of ingredients in recipes to patients with diabetes. She didn't believe the products were good for the people with diabetes. I would tend to agree with that. And the American Diabetes Association is meant to be advocating for people with diabetes. However, they're receiving millions of dollars from sponsors in the pharmaceutical, food, and agricultural industries. Nothing to see here, guys. Look away. All right. The lawsuit argues that the Splenda arrangement with the ADA was simply a scheme to defraud the American people by approving and endorsing recipes submitted by Splenda. And when the ADA knew that those recipes were contrary to well-established and emerging scientific principles, the ADA should have known it was just bad. Anyway, so that's the original article. So Elizabeth Hannah filed this lawsuit because they fired her, and she claims they were trying to defraud the American people. On to the updated article, or the new article. Okay, so does the American Diabetes Association work for patients or companies? A lawsuit dared to ask. I've got the answer. Don't need to read any further. Okay, all done. We're over. Okay. The ADA just settled an explosive legal case accusing the organization of betraying people with diabetes. They wouldn't do that. What's this on about? Okay, a cloak of silence has descended over the recent whistleblower lawsuit claiming that the American Diabetes Association, or ADA, accepted corporate money in return for recommending recipes that threatened the health of people with diabetes. It's all right, nothing's going to threaten the health of people with diabetes. They've got some quality recipes on that website. Nothing with chocolate chips and sugar, nothing at all. Okay, Elizabeth Hannah, the ex-ADA chief nutritionist who alleged that her former employer fired her over a refusal to endorse Splenda-filled salads, has quietly settled her case. In a statement to The Guardian, Hannah's attorney, Lauren Davis, said that the matter had been resolved. No details were provided either by Davis or by a spokesman for the ADA, which declined to comment. Why would the ADA decline to comment? Why would they settle the case? They want a winner with this, right? Of course Splenda's perfectly okay in a salad for diabetics. Of course. There is nothing bad about this. There's nothing untoward about this at all. What are you all looking at? What are you talking about? This is ridiculous. There's nothing to see here. This is all being made about nothing. Look the other way, guys. Go and talk about cereals or something. Okay, for Hannah, accepting a settlement from the ADA was no doubt a simpler and less stressful and risky alternative to a trial. That's right, because the ADA would definitely have won that trial. But for me, actually, they might have, having been able to spend all that money on really good lawyers, because it's not like they're spending the money on education for diabetes, right? But for me and the country's other 38 million people with diabetes, it is a letdown. What a great opportunity a trial would have been to expose the inner workings of the ADA, the patient advocacy organization, up to its eyeballs in big business funding. Yes, it would have been good to hear about everything that's going on there. But also, I'm quite happy that Ms. Hannah's received a settlement. But yes, it would have been nice to expose everything that's going on. I recently wrote about Hannah's lawsuit. Yep, we've done an update on that. Diabetes costs our country, that's America only, $400 billion annually to treat. That is ridiculous. But the Diabetes Association, don't worry about them. They are making lots of money from the donations they're receiving. So, they're not going to be impacted too much by the economic problems caused by spending that much money on curing the diabetes problem, or treating the diabetes problem, I should say. And although type 2 diabetes is often reversible through a low carbohydrate diet, the ADA and the pharmaceutical industry don't seem very interested in acknowledging that. Why not? Why not? I mean, surely that's... Oh, yeah, you'd lose money. Okay. Instead, they promote a laundry list of corporate deals and pharmaceutical treatments that have failed to stem diabetes' lethal and expensive impact on American life. Yes. Hannah's complaint, filed last year in a New Jersey court, alleged a litany of wrongdoings by one of the country's most powerful patient advocacy organizations. Hannah said that ADA higher-ups pressured her to approve recipes that included generous helpings of the artificial sweetener Splenda, despite research in the ADA's own scientific journal finding that artificial sweeteners may raise consumers' risk of type 2 diabetes. So let me just take a pause here and say, so the recipe was something like cucumber and tomato with Splenda poured on top, and a generous helping of Splenda poured on top. Can I just say, if you're at the point where you're making a salad and you have to tip a sweetener on it, then you've got some serious problems that need to be addressed. And probably, if the American Diabetes Association is the organization that's recommending that to you, you're going to an organization for help that also has problems. So you really need to assess the situation, open your eyes, and think about what you could be doing. Hannah further alleged that the pressure was the result of a $1 million contribution made to the ADA by Heartland Food Products Group. Sounds wholesome. Finally, she said that ADA was the revolving door of nutrition directors, with 7 leaders coming and going over the past 4 years, largely because, she asserted, her predecessors were either terminated by the ADA when they refused to comply with the ADA's unethical and unlawful practices, or were constructively terminated by the ADA by abusive and hostile environment they faced for refusing to comply. I can just imagine what the work environment is like there. There's a lot of people with no idea about nutrition at all, with master MBAs kicking around there thinking, how can we maximize the earnings of this organization and minimize the amount of money that we're spending? We just need to do this. Take these sponsorships, recommend these recipes. The guys say it's okay, so it must be okay, right? So let's just put it out there. The companies wouldn't lie to us. Let's just put it out there. Or maybe they aren't that dumb. Maybe they know the companies would probably misrepresent the truth. But anyway, let's just put these recipes out there and get as much money as we can in sponsorships, and let's just save as much money as possible as well. And it's all going to be great, and anyone that disagrees with doing this, we're just going to fire them, get them out of the organization, get in the yes men that are going to do exactly what we want them to do. And this is the problem with thinking people with MBAs are going to be able to solve problems. You need people working in an environment that actually understand what they're trying to do, what they're trying to solve, not people directing others around that have MBAs and have no idea actually what's going on. Okay, That's my little rant over. Anyway, the ADA rejects the allegations in the lawsuit. The Heartland Food Products Group, which was not named in the lawsuit, has also said that it rejects any allegations of wrongdoing. Of course, and indicated it would not continue working with the ADA. It would continue working with the ADA. Of course, we've done nothing wrong. Here's some more money, ADA. Just put some more recipes out. Heartland will continue to support the ADA and honorably provide recipes and educational information to people to successfully reduce sugar levels and live happier and healthier lives. Heartland said in a statement, happier and healthier lives. Yes, we'll do that through sweeteners. Put some sweetener on your cucumber and tomato and you're going to be much healthier. By settling, the ADA manages to avoid the discovery process and the potentially embarrassing revelations that might have come with it. Yeah, I don't know why they've settled when they could have gone through the discovery process and they could have laid bare the organization and said, see, nothing to see here, guys. What are you asking us about? What are you questioning us about? There's nothing to see here. Totally above board. We didn't do anything wrong. Splenda belongs on cucumber. That's our position. And we do not waver from that position at all. Check our books. Check everything. Nothing wrong. Nothing to see. All right. But they didn't. They've settled. So no one's going to get to know the truth. And, they would have been off the hook. Everyone would have said, listen, Elizabeth Hanna, you don't know what you're talking about. Splenda belongs on cucumber. Splenda belongs on tomato. And the only thing better than a singular cucumber with Splenda on it or a singular tomato with Splenda on it is to put them together. And that is a match made in heaven or a trio made in heaven, whatever you want to say. Anyway, Hannah's lawyers appeared to have grasped the implications of her lawsuit and originally suggested her quest could take on heroic dimensions. Hannah's story could be the next movie that Americans need to see to understand what is going on behind closed doors between major for-profit corporations and the not-for-profit health sector, they wrote in a legal complaint. That's right, Elizabeth Hanna was their next Erin Brockovich. Although she chose to settle with the ADA, in reality, Hannah has already performed a giant public service. Agreed. Her legal complaint is a public document open for the ADA's board of directors, clinicians across the US and the world, and members of Congress to read. Her meticulous account depicts the world's most important diabetes patient advocacy organization as a cynical fundraising machine. No! Anxious to please its corporate overlords at the expense of millions of people with diabetes, it's supposed to be treating for help. No, come on. No. The defendant's conduct shows that they were party to a scheme to defraud the American people by approving and endorsing recipes submitted by Splenda to be lauded by the ADA as a healthy choice for people with diabetes when the ADA knew that those recipes were contrary to the ADA's guidelines of well-established and emerging scientific principles, the complaint reads. No, I can't believe that. I will not accept that. Cucumber and tomato and Splenda. No. I'm not going to accept that this is contrary to their guidelines. Probably because I doubt they have any guidelines at this stage. But I'm not going to accept that that's going to be bad for you. No, it's perfectly healthy. This is a storm in a teacup. Or a storm in a thick shake cup. Whatever. In case you're curious, the ADA and Splenda appear to be still at it. As I write down, they were never at it. As I write this, the ADA's Diabetes Food Hub webpage still features no fewer than 203 recipes, some marked sponsored, some not. That includes Splenda, whose parent company's $1 million contribution has brought to light the utter insanity of our diabetes epidemic. Isn't it long overdue for the ADA's board to act? Well, if they haven't yet in 83 years, I'm tipping they're not going to. They're not going to do anything. And that's if acting means that they're going to actually do something to fix this problem. If acting means that they're going to pretend to be interested, well, they're doing a pretty good job at the moment. So, it's just how you look at it. It's the framing of the situation. Anyway, guys, I want to ask if you'd like to be part of my interview series, if you'd like to come on and share your results with the carnivore diet and let everyone know how good it's been for you and to fight back against this kind of thing. All you need to do is shoot me an email to realzerocarb@gmail.com. And I'm laughing thinking about the ADA. So realzerocarb@gmail.com. And we'll set up a time that works for you and get you on, and you can tell your story and help out, fight back against this kind of thing. And if you want to see other ways that we can fight back against the misinformation out there about what causes type 2 diabetes, check out this video next.